It's Kelly. I am back with another makeup look for you guys. I have kind of settled into a daily routine when it comes to my makeup, and so I thought I would share it with you. I have been doing this makeup now for a couple of weeks, pretty much out of necessity, and it's just become a habit that I pick up the same thing. So I had packed this little makeup bag to take with me to the hospital, and then it just became sort of a habit for me to do this. So this is my new daily makeup routine. Just a normal average day when I need makeup, I need to look nice and human and that sort of thing. So I did want to talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, my red face. I'm not hot. I've been sick. I mentioned it in my last video that I have been sick. I am on one of those prednisone dose packs, and it gives my face all of this redness that you're seeing here in the viewfinder. But it makes everything super, super red. You guys don't know that I already have a lot of redness in this area here. But I mean, like, my nose, everything is just super, super red and blotchy. And it's the steroid pack that I'm taking to help get rid of my ear infection and my sinus infection. I had a really bad case, and so I'm right in the middle of the dose pack now. And usually my face will stay red like this for a really long time. The second thing is that you may notice that I am now blonde. I kind of briefly mentioned it in the last video that I did on the fibromyalgia purple eye look. And yeah, I just decided that it was time to get lighter. My hair is naturally pretty dark. It's more of a mousy brown than this warm brown. I asked her to warm up my natural and just leave my roots warmer so that it wasn't quite as ashy as it is normally, and get rid of my grays. And then we took blonde all the way down. So I guess you could say it's just a blonde slash warm brown, but mostly blonde highlight in there. It's something different for me. I've never been this blonde before ever in my life, but I'm enjoying it so far. My boyfriend really likes it. He likes the blonde. So yeah, it was just something new that I decided that I would try. And so that's what I have done. And I did get about 6 inches cut off of it, believe it or not. So it's got a fresh cut and it's blonde. It's been blonde for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. And I am using a really good purple shampoo. I got it from Sally Beauty Supply, and it's called Shimmer Lights. It comes in a light purple bottle with a pump, the shampoo, and then of course the matching conditioner is just in the squeeze. But that's what I've been using, and it's been keeping the brightness out. It's staying really nice and blonde and not going orange on me, which I always have problems with when I try to go lighter. So since I was going lighter than I ever have before, I knew I would need something good. And so that's what my salon uses for their clients. And I asked my stylist, and she told me to just use that. And so I went to Sally Beauty and got it. So that's what I'm using. It seems to be helping. I am not real impressed with the conditioner because it's not very conditioning, and my hair is super, super dry and frizzy right now because of the bleaching. But I do have some of the XO brand, I believe it's called, the XO brand, that I've always used in the Moroccan, but now I've been using it in the silver. It's in a purple container, and it's a purplish, it's sort of like just a pale lavender color. So I just use that conditioner in conjunction with the really dark, bright, ultraviolet color of the one from Sally Beauty, and I've been getting enough conditioning. And I also am using a heat protectant because I don't want it to be overly dry, frizzy, and burned looking. So that's that. Now that we have entered the world of the longest introduction ever, I do want to go over with you guys what I've been doing just for my everyday makeup look. It's really very simple. It has been focusing around this, which is almost gone, but this is what I've been using for my makeup. It's just the It Cosmetics CC Plus, and it's the CC Plus Illumination. I like this because it has SPF 50, and it's like in the 80s and 90s here in Alabama now. And even though I'm really not in the sunshine much, I think it's important that we wear SPF. And, you know, guys, I do have some age spots and other sunspots and things like that I'm trying to, you know, not get more of. I'll be 49 in a couple of months, and I really don't want them to get worse. So that is what I've been doing, even though I have not been in the sun much. So I'm just going to put my ears on here to hold my hair back out of my face, and I thought that we would go ahead and get started with the eyes. I have really not been doing a whole lot with the eyes as far as priming is concerned. I've just been kind of going over it just a little bit, and then kind of patting it down with, you know, a powder to set. But for today, since I'm going to do my eyes first, I'm just going to go in with my NARS that I have here. And I am just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on each eye. I really don't need a lot right now because I'm not using a tremendous amount of shadow on my eyes. So I'm just going to kind of carefully massage that in until it's sticky, just like that. And what I've been doing is just really simple. I've been using 2 different palettes, and I kind of alternate what I do, but for today's purposes, I think I'm just going to use the one palette, which is the Lorac 3. You guys know I had been loving that for the longest time. I am just using the Lorac 3, and I've just been using about 3 shadows out of this. If I want to alternate, I go into the peach palette, and I've been using this color here, which is just peachy. I've been using this color on my lid, and I just use it with my finger. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what a normal day looks like for me. So now that I have a little bit of primer on my lids, I'm going to go ahead and grab my fluffy. This is my Morphe E14 Fluffy Shader Brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Lorac palette. And I just choose this color here called Canvas because it's close to my skin tone color, this one right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go in with that with this fluffy shader brush and just load it up really good, and then start going in and setting my eye down, getting it all over that nice tacky surface so that I have a nice smooth surface to blend on top of. But this works really good for me because it's close to my skin tone and it doesn't add any additional color. It's a very, very, very simplistic look that I'm doing every day. And I've been having to do it out of necessity because, you know, when you're not home and you're having to make do, you need it to be fast and easy. You really don't want it to be very intricate or detailed and that sort of thing. So I'm just loading that up again and going in with this eye. But that's what I've been doing so far with my eyes. Actually, I have been starting with color correcting my face and doing my foundation first, and then just kind of going over the foundation, taking it over my eyes just a little bit and setting it down like this. But since I'm doing my eyes first today, I decided to go ahead and just use that primer on my eyes because it just seems to work better that way. Now, I did go in with the Scandinavia primer spray before I got started. I have travel size of those, and so I've just been keeping those in my bag, and they're just real easy. If you order from Scandinavia, they'll send you the travel size. This is the finishing spray one here, but I have the finishing spray and the primer spray, and they both work just fine. So anyway, that feels a little bit tacky still, so I just need to cover it just a little bit more. But this just really gives me a nice smooth base for blending. And there is that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I've already cleaned, and because I did that purple hook yesterday, I'm just going to take my E40, And sometimes I go in with my favorite, which is clay. It's more of a warm tone brown. This is a cooler tone brown. This is cool taupe. And I think I'm gonna go in with cool taupe today. I'm just gonna go in with cool taupe, just kind of dab it in there lightly. You don't wanna go in and cram your brush in there, of course. And I'm gonna take this through my crease. And I do have to go a little above the crease because of my hooded lids, but it works for me. Whatever works for you, wherever your crease is, just take it through the crease. It's just a really easy look. It gets me put together and that sort of thing. It shows that I did care. And I'm telling you, over the last month, it's been really hard to care, I'll be honest. There have been some days when I've had zero sleep for several days. I've nearly had a nervous breakdown, and it's just been easier to just go without makeup. I mean, I think we all have those days, don't we? And I've had a few of those days over the last month because going without sleep is my trigger. I have to have sleep. I mean, I really do. Going without sleep for me is a really big deal. And I know there are a lot of people out there like that. And, you know, for me, it is a big deal. And so I have to try and get enough sleep. And when you're in the hospital and you're being, you know, woken up by the staff on a regular basis throughout the night, and then you have the patient that you're trying to tend to that needs literally every 10 to 15 minutes needs something, and you're just trying to take turns with other people, it's still disruptive, and so your sleep pattern gets off really bad. And so my sleep pattern got off, and I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I ended up in the shower just squalling one morning because I was just like, no sleep for a couple of days. Tensions were kind of high because everyone was so worried and upset, and I just ended up in the shower just squalling because I just was like, you know, I don't know how much more of this I can take, and that was just in the second week. So, you know, I was just like, I told Brad, I said, you know, I've got to get some sleep. If I don't have some sleep, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And, you know, he realized how serious I was, and he was just like, you know, okay. And he just sort of cleared the room, and he's like, she's got to have some sleep. She's got to sleep today. She needs to get some sleep so that she can be her best and she can feel good. And, you know, it's not going to do any good to run her on the ground. So, you know, that's when we decided that it was better to kind of take turns and let different people sleep a full night's sleep so that we get some rest. And that's what we did, and it really helped a lot. I mean, it really did. It was just like, you know, it was so very needed. So, okay, so I have done that. I'm just going to keep that to the side, that brush to the side. Now, let me grab this little brush that I've been using. I used it yesterday with a really dark purple in my outer V. This is the E18. It's just a little stubby brush from Morphe also. I'm just going to go into this called dark brown right here. I'm just going to kind of load my brush up, and I'm just going to kind of stamp in the corner just a little bit, just stamp it out just a little bit, and then start blending just to deepen out that corner. I want to give it just a little bit more definition, even though I'm not really using many colors on the eye. I do want it to have some definition. I want it to have, you know, that darker outer V so that it looks better than just a crease color. There have been a couple of days where we would drive back and forth to home sometimes, and I would kind of gather up things that I needed, and there were a couple of times when I actually pulled my palettes out of my bag and accidentally left them laying on my bed, and oh my gosh, I was having to use bronzer and blush for my eyes. You do what you gotta do. It worked. It actually worked out okay. But you know, it's okay on a no makeup kind of day. You can use your bronzer through your crease and just do some liner and or just some mascara, and you can still look very put together as long as you even out your skin with a little bit of, even if it's just the CC cream like this. And I think the CC cream is absolutely wonderful for travel and for on the go, especially because of the SPF, but because it's just really easy. It's in that squirt, you know, pump packaging, and it just seems to work better for me. Now, if you see a little white dog running around, that's because I'm babysitting Brad's dog right now. He has got so much going on. We're going to be doing the funeral services and all those kinds of things probably tomorrow, or at least go and pick things out and make the final arrangements and all that kind of stuff tomorrow. And he lives a lot further away than I do, and so he was having to go home, just stamping it right there on that corner, and then I go in and blend. But he was having to go home every single day, and the gas mileage, and the gas was just costing us a fortune going back and forth. And so when I started getting sick, I was like, you know, I got to stay home. And so that's when we decided to keep him from having to go back and forth, for me to just keep her. Her name is Sasha. She's half Bichon, half Shih Tzu. And she is a sweetheart. She really is. She's a little cuddle bug. She's about 3 years old. And she is very hyper. She's getting into things all the time. But, you know, for Izzy being nearly 12, she is way too much to handle. She's just, she's a little rambunctious, but she's a lot of fun. She's a very sweet little girl. And she's been staying, this is like the 5th night, I think, with me, that she has spent with me. And she fits right in when it comes to going to bed. She's ready to go to bed. We get up in the bed. And I mean, I haven't made my bed, and I don't even remember when the last time I made my bed. I just haven't had the energy to do it. And so we get up, we do our morning routine, and then at night she's ready with Izzy and I, and we just kind of crawl back in the bed. I have a blanket that I keep over to protect my sheets and my actual blanket and my comforter. And they love that because it's nice and fluffy. And so, you know, see, I hope you can see what I've done here. I've just darkened up that outer corner. I just stamp it right here in this area, right here, and then I go in and I'll start filling in and bringing it up just a little bit, and it gives me just enough definition for it to work. But anyway, let me go in with that E40 and just kind of blend through the crease just a little bit, so there's not quite as much of a drastic, just like that. It doesn't take much at all. Now what I've been doing is I've been taking my finger. This color right here is called, let me see, Medallion, this one right here. I've just been taking that on my finger. My nails are blue, honestly blue, because I just got out of the shower and using that stuff to wash my hair. And it actually stains my fingernails, so be careful if you go and get it. But I've just been putting it right here on the inside part of the lid with my finger. And it just seems to work really well. I'm looking in the mirror here, that if you're wondering why I'm not looking in the camera. This is looking straight at you, and this is the viewfinder. So when I look over here, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of checking myself to make sure I am in the viewfinder and that you are seeing what you need to see. But right now I'm looking in the mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, my boyfriend said, you never look directly at the camera like you should. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to try and practice that. He's really good, though. He's very supportive of me and my YouTube channel. It's just that, you know, with his mom being in the hospital and now that has passed away, it's, you know, my personal life has kind of had to take a forefront, and you know, the YouTube channel has suffered just a little bit as a result, but I'm trying really hard to get back into the swing of things. I do want to get back to planning, guys. I've got at least a month's worth, I think, in my planner that I haven't touched. I haven't done 2 monthly plan with me's that I know of, and I'm hoping to get back into that really soon and start uploading on a regular basis for you guys. I've been having trouble with my internet. The look that I'm going to be uploading for you guys for fibromyalgia awareness is a actual collab with a friend of mine. It was her idea to do a purple eye look, and I know that will have gone up late, and this one will be going up after that, but I've been having trouble getting my internet right. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, my internet is not up and running like it should be, and I've not been home to really deal with it. But if I have to, I'll just go to his house and upload everything from there. But yeah, I just, you know, it seems like I've had a lot working against me lately. And so I apologize for that. I really do. I'm sorry. You can see now it gives it just a little bit more definition, having that on there. Now what I'm going to do is just one more time go through with that E40. I'm just very lightly touching this. Now I'm going to take, I have this Sigma, it's an angled shader brush. It is an E70. It's this little angled brush like this right here. And I'm going to go now into this color. This is called Almond Pearl. It's this one right here. I'm going to go into that just a little bit with this angled brush, just a tiny little bit to put on my brow bone, just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. So I've only used about 4 colors here, but it has enough definition, and it was very easy to do. So I don't have a tremendous amount of blending because the colors are really easy to work with, and it's easy to kind of move around with. So yeah, there's that. And you can see I'm just, since I have this little angled brush here, it kind of reaches down into the area that I have already placed shadow, and it kind of helps blend that line out. And that way I don't have like a really strong line of change. It's just a really good ombre effect, so to speak. But this is what I've been doing for my eyes. Now, of course, you know, I do liner, and, you know, I do smudge out the bottom lash line and mascara. But for now, we're going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and go and put on my brows, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and run a pencil through my brows just to give it some definition. I will go back and put my brow gel. I like to use the NYX brow gel. I'm using the brunette, even though it's a little dark, but I mean, I have it and I'm not going to waste it. So, and it seems like it just keeps going on forever and ever. I'm going to go in with my green corrector fluid and try to tone down some of this redness that I've got in my, you know, more serious areas. I've just got my dampened beauty blender, and I'm just going to try to tone down some of this. I can't do a tremendous amount of color correcting, and the reason for that is because I'm only using the CC cream, and while it does offer some coverage, it's not like a full coverage foundation. So I'm just trying to kind of tone. Can you see the difference? It tones it down in quite a bit, which I really do, you know, appreciate. It's a little bit more, and I also like to put it, you know, like on a couple of my little scars and things like that. But it makes a huge difference when you do color correct. So if you have redness, I suggest getting some of this Urban Decay green corrector fluid. It just helps me. I feel like kind of controls some of the areas that are just like really terrible. They're just my worst areas of redness, and I usually just kind of pounce what's left over my nose just a little bit, because I do have some redness on my nose. But that's pretty much all I have to do, is just a little bit here and there, but it's just enough to tone it down that, you know, even though I have a tremendous amount of redness, especially from the steroid that I'm taking right now, I still am able to camouflage it enough so that I don't feel like I'm walking around sunburned or flushed all the time. So there's that. Okay, so the next step in my routine has been just working with the CC cream. And I have been using my F80, which is just a flat top kabuki, this right here. I've just been doing that, and I really like the dispenser on the CC cream. I just squirt a little bit out on the top of it, just like that right there. And then I just sort of go in and I start working, just kind of, and then I start buffing it in. I kind of tap it around just a little bit, and then I start buffing it and that sort of thing. I like putting my brows on just a little bit before my, a little bit better before the CC cream, because if I make a mistake on my brows, then I don't when I go in to fix it, I don't leave, you know, skin with no coverage at all there. And so it just seems to work better. It's making my hair frizz up here just a little bit working with it, but it really is an easy, quick thing. Of course, I'm doing this on camera, so it's taking a little longer, but you know, on a normal daily basis, I just go in and I start buffing, and I can get done really fast. This is a little bit, this is actually medium. I probably need light right now, but I'm trying to use it up before I purchase more. I have several foundations that I really need to finish up, and this CC cream was just real easy. It's light, and so that made it even better for travel. I didn't have to worry about my foundation bottle breaking or anything like that. But I just buff it in really good. I've not really been doing a whole lot for my under eyes as far as color correcting, but today I am going to do a little bit because I have been sleeping for the last 3 or 4 days. I've been sleeping a lot trying to get well, and the bags under my eyes, you can see here, I think I'm poking out, yeah, see how deep they are? So I think that I will stop for a second and color correct. So let me see if I can find, I don't even know where my color corrector went. Here it is. This is the Smashbox orange pencil. I'm just gonna put a little bit and kind of smooth it out a little bit, just in this deepest, darkest, purplish, more purplish area. I tend to have it, you know, here and in that crease right there. I think I'm just going to use my finger to kind of smooth this out just a little bit instead of the brush, because I don't want to take time to look for the brush. I only have out pretty much here just what I need. And then I'll be able to cover this with my concealer. Just be very, very gentle when you are working with your under eye area. The skin is so sensitive and so tender, and it will, you know, damage very easily. So, you know, it doesn't take much, and just very gently with your ring finger. Just don't do a whole lot. Oh, sorry. I hit you guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I mean, there's no need to do like a tremendous amount. Just that little bit will make a difference. So I'm just going to kind of go in and grab some more of this. And start working it over my face. And come down. My neck. Okay, now that I have gotten that on, you can still see the redness, you know, in my eyes, but keep in mind I'm sitting in front of all of these lights. You know, these lights are really, really bright. And in, you know, normal daylight, it's not near as obvious. Even, you know, like looking in the viewfinder and everything, you can still see my dark circles, obviously, and you can still see the discoloration, the redness and everything. But in person, it's very well camouflaged. It's not near as noticeable as it was. And obviously, I haven't put any concealer under my eyes yet either, so that helps matters. But it is a very light coverage. It's a CC cream. It's not meant to give you a tremendous amount of coverage. It's just, you know, it's enough to make you look put together, I guess you could say. So the next thing that I would do at this point, and what I have been doing is my under eye concealer and powder and things like that. So I've just been using my Laura Mercier, and I have like a travel size of that, and it's a little bitty baby girl. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use my big one today, so I don't have to like constantly shake and all that kind of stuff. But I've just been going in with, let me see if I can find what I did with my concealer. Here it is. I've just been using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and this is in the color light. I think it's light warm. I usually go with neutral, but you know, it's really not that much. I just go down just to kind of hit the high points, just kind of hit the high points of my face just a little bit. And so I just kind of go in and provides a little extra coverage, I guess you could say, you know, just on the high points of your face. You're not going to be really looking that hard at someone for just an everyday run to the store, go shopping, run errands, you know, that sort of thing. This is just something that worked for me on the go. It's really easy. You know, I don't have to take a lot of tools with me. I can get a makeup look that makes me look decent if I end up going somewhere else. I'm not barefaced, you know, and it's light to carry, so that's what's been working for me. Okay, and then what I do, I think I mentioned it in the last video that I uploaded, but I have stopped baking. I've just started going straight in with my beauty blender and just getting a little bit of powder on it and setting it immediately and just kind of baking it in there. The CC Illumination does have a good bit of, it's a lot like a tinted moisturizer, the way that it feels on your skin. And because of that, I've just been patting this in, and I've found that it seems to look better on my skin, especially since I have mature skin and, you know, all these fine lines and wrinkles. It just seems to make my skin look a little bit better to do it this way. And I also don't get that oily feeling, you know, within a couple of hours that just, you know, an unset CC cream or tinted moisturizer will give you. Okay, and so I've been doing that. That's pretty much the gist of it right there. So I've done that, and then what I do, let me put this powder away before I spill it everywhere. Okay, and then what I do is I just go in with my powder brush, and I've been using my L'Oreal Infallible pressed powder, and I just set the rest of my face with that. And it seems to work just fine. Keeps any oils at bay and that sort of thing. It's a really good powder for a pressed powder, in my opinion. It's drugstore, of course, so it's a little bit more affordable. You guys know that I do love my Rimmel Stay Matte, but I just decided that I would carry this and start making some use of it, and it seems to have been working out pretty good for me. Okay, so that's that. And then what I've been doing is going in with this, let's see, my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. So this is my Real Techniques, the little orange one. Just go in and kind of give myself some color, kind of try to give myself some cheekbones where I really don't have that many. I have a lot better cheekbone than I had this time last year, that's for sure. My face has slimmed up tremendously with the weight loss. But what I have noticed with the weight loss, though, the problem is that it's allowed my wrinkles to show up much more. So it's sort of like a catch-22. It's hard because when I was chubby, my face was filled out and you didn't see my wrinkles as much. But now you see my wrinkles. My face is not as full, and because of that, the skin is looser and I see more. But you know what? It's all okay. I would rather be healthy and have a few wrinkles than to be unhealthy and plump. I just have been trying to really moisturize a lot better than I ever have and that sort of thing. Just giving myself a little color around the frame of my face and under here, of course on my forehead, and then in these areas here. And of course you can't beat the way that smells. So there's that. And then I have been using, this is Tea Rose by Milani. It's just their, one of their rose blushes. I've been using it. And I had this, this is a Sephora brush. I think I got it in like a BoxyCharm or something. I don't know. It's an angled fluffy brush. I've just been going in and getting a little bit of that. I don't need much because my face is already red. So I haven't really been putting much on there. So so it really doesn't take much. But what I do is I just go back in with my powder brush and I just kind of blend it just to make sure that it's there. And then I've been using my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder, and I've been using it in the color Precious Petals, and I have been using it with, let me see, where is my brush? Oh, here it is. This the kind of a pinky magenta color brush from Real Techniques. I just like to kind of go into that. I like to lay the brush up pretty good, shake it off just a little bit, and then give myself plenty of highlight. I'm a highlighter whore, girls. Highlighter whore. Girls and guys, that is. I'm a highlighter whore. I just love it. I mean, I love highlight. And, you know, I don't want to be oily, but I like to shine. I do. I can't help it. It's just my favorite thing. I think I have more highlighters than I have of anything else. I just love, 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 love highlighter. And I did, and I'm going to do a haul and a first impressions and review and like a tutorial, but I got the Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer, and I got the new eye palette, and what else did I get? I got the brush that goes with it, and then I am going to go back and get those dewdrops because I really just fell in love with that collection, and I really needed that Tantastic bronzer, so I decided to get the whole kit and caboodle, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And I just haven't even touched it, even though I couldn't hardly wait to get it. But when it did come, I was so excited. I haven't touched it yet. I mean, it is totally virgin. I'm waiting to use it with you guys, so I'm going to do that. You know, hopefully one day this week I'll have the opportunity to film that for you and get that up and let you guys know what I think about that. It is going to be part of their permanent line, which is wonderful. But, you know, it's expensive. And so I had to wait till payday to purchase it, and I was afraid it was going to be sold out, and it just about was sold out everywhere. But I was able to find it at Neiman Marcus online, and I was able to get everything there in one place, which was really good for me. Okay, so that is what I have been doing. Now let me go in and just kind of brush my brows back into shape, because where the brushes hit them, they're kind of out of place, even though I have put the pencil through there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this NYX brow gel. It is in the color brunette, and it's not an exact match, but it works. You know, it's been a worse match before. Before I colored my hair and it was more of an ashy color, it really didn't match. But I just do this, and some days if I'm really short on time, I skip the pencil and just run this through there, and it has such good pigment in it that it you know, it kind of tames your brows and everything all at one time. So you can kind of see. I don't do a strong brow. I have a lot of patchiness where, you know, my brow doesn't grow. And so I don't really like a strong brow on me. I don't feel like that it looks really good on my face. I'm just not one of those that needs that. So, okay, this is the step that I get to when I'm ready to start working on the rest of my eyes, and then I will smudge out the lower lash line. I have been using, this is one of the best eyeliners ever. It's the L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner. It looks like this. It's just, you know, a pencil or whatever, but this is in brown. I think it just says brown. Let's see. Yeah, just brown, But it is the best for the waterline. So I've just been kind of tight lining. It goes on so easily. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the NARS and the Urban Decay liners. They just go on really smoothly and easily. I mean, it takes very little effort. Do you see how little effort it takes? Okay, and then that's me eyelining, and then I like to go down into the lash line just a little bit on the lower lash line, just to give it a little something to smudge with. And then what I do is I use a pencil brush, and that dark brown that I used in my outer corner, to kind of smudge it out a little bit, just to give it some definition there. So let me get, where is my smudge brush? Here it is. It's just it's the Morphe E36. It's just a little bitty pencil brush. But I just go into that same dark brown color, and I just kind of load it up, and then I kind of pat it on there just a little bit, just to kind of set it, and then I smudge it out. And this look is appropriate for daytime in my opinion, but it's also, it's one of those things that it can transition into night if you just want to change your lip color. It lasts all day, especially with, you know, a good setting spray. I hate the way I look when I'm doing that with my mouth open. But, and then I did try to kind of connect it just a little bit up, so it's not an abrupt stop. And that's it. That's it, guys. That is all there is to it. Now what I do is I just go in and I double check to make sure that there is no fallout at all from what I just did. And then I use my setting spray. Now I'm just going to be using my Scandinavia, of course. It does have to be shaken. Works really good, and I just love having the travel size of that. I think that it, you know, makes a world of difference. My lips, oh, they are in sad, sad shape. Let me get a little. I like to put a little lip balm on there. And then wipe them down. It gets off any of the CC Cream foundation lip. I do that, and then I go back in again, just to let them be moisturizing while I'm doing the rest of my look. Now, what I'm going to be using today for mascara, I have been using the NYC, this is the Skyrise Lengthening Mascara. I just prefer lengthening over volumizing. Everybody has a personal preference. I would rather it be lengthening than spidery. And I don't go over, you know, overboard with it. And that's pretty much what I do right there. So let me go in and finish it, and I'll be right back. Okay, the next step is lip liner. I'm just gonna put on a lip liner for now. And I'll put on my lipstick after I've done my hair, because I'm gonna need to go in and curl my hair. So that I'm ready for the day. Just a little bit of pink popsicle look is all I really care about. That works for me, and sometimes I'll just use a nude if I use the peach palette and use that peachy color on my eyes. Guys, this is the look. This is what I've been doing. It has been really easy for me. The next thing I do is just go in and kind of curl the bottom part of my hair, just put a little bit of a wave to it, and it seems to work really well for me. So this is the look that I've been doing every day for the last couple of weeks. Very easy. When I'm just doing it on my own, it moves really fast. I'm not having to talk through, so it, you know, can be done in 10 minutes, and I'm done. You know, I'm ready for the day. When, you know, if I sit down at my vanity like this, normally it takes me forever because I just take my time. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my new daily makeup routine. If you did and you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, because that's very helpful. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be filming for you guys, and I hope that you guys will be looking for new videos from me, and I hope that you've enjoyed the last video and this video too. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and please share. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.